Recording in progress.
In a world full of arseholes, be more Fulhamish and enjoy the Drunker United podcast, starting now.
Was it really Fulhamish of them to score fucking 4 goals? I mean, it was certainly Fulhamish of them to give up 5.
Who was that? I've got a huge boner.
Yeah, that was you. You know exactly who that is.
It's the sounds.
I know the impregnating sounds. Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Snub of my lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
In a world full of arseholes, be more Fulhamish and enjoy the Drunker United podcast, starting now.
Drunken United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by 2 common American schmucks. I'm your host, Sam Houston. Apparently there's ghosts' voices in the machine.
Do you have it so it replays?
No, I don't. So I don't know why it did it
it is a full moon.
Uh-huh.
Your board just keeps playing itself for no reason.
Uh-huh.
Graham is hearing his own voice for no reason.
Uh-huh.
Also, right before we started, I don't know if you saw me hold my hands up. Whatever y'all did, I can't remember what it was, but right when you started recording,
Yeah.
y'all's end echoed.
Huh.
And then now it's not doing it.
The world is a weird place. I am your host, Sam Houston. Across the way from me, gonna do his best, Bill O'Reilly. My co-host, Mr. Samuel Graham. How you doing there, bud?
I'm doing it live.
Exactly. And, of course, on the ones and twos, just trying to figure out all the mysterious shit of Zoom.
I hate tech shit.
I
hate tech shit. 8 years.
Well, that's the problem, because you're the tech one.
Y'all have been promising me for 8 years you'll find someone to replace me, and I'm still waiting. I'm not the tech person. Tech stuff makes me so nervous.
You don't want to be replaced.
And we're boomers, man. We can't do this.
Fuck. Hiram, where are you?
We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get your podcasts, and of course streaming live every single Monday night, but this is a Thursday, so it's not streaming. It's just going to get sent out to you. Should you want to chat with us, there are as many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Absolutely. It's at DU Football Show on all the social medias and dfootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email.
Very good. Producer Mel, you're over there on mute and you got something to say there, killer?
No, I forgot you told me to stick around for the first segment.
Well, I mean, we're not to the first segment yet. We're still doing
Bye.
call to action. Except for you muted me. It gonna be one of them nights. It gonna be one of them nights. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Mr. Graham, since we are across the Zooms, we're each drinking something different. Why don't you go ahead and get it started, my good friend? What are you having?
Sure, doing an oldie but goodie and a bottle kill. And I'm going to give you the actual kill right here live on the video.
I love that.
And there it goes. Bottle dead.
Excellent. What do you got
this
there?
was an old single barrel that one of my accounts chose. It was a Whistle Pig 10-year-old barrel. Came in at 115 proof. And this was from House of Liquors from back in the day.
Nice.
Looking for a date. But this had to be about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, probably, at least. But I held on to the last little bit. It was absolutely fucking delicious. They didn't do any special kind of barrel finish to it for this one because it was just a 10-year-old. But it is a higher proof than the normal 10-year-old.
You know,
it drinks actually less than the standard 10, which is only 100 proof. And this is 115. It is fucking phenomenal.
I've often found whenever I used to sell people single barrels of Whistle Pig, I'd always tell them, I'd be like, you get over 115 up to in the 120s, and it really drinks like it's 100 proof. Like you would drink 100 proof and think it was stronger. You would drink the regular Whistle Pig and think it was way, way stronger.
Big time.
Yeah.
And this does the same thing. I mean, it's got a good peppery finish, but all of the upfront kind of mintiness and stuff that Whistle Pig tends to offer does not have any of that shit.
Yeah.
It almost drinks like a bourbon when you first hit your lips.
Oh, wild.
Just a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of caramel, but then it makes way to this lovely, just peppery, spicy finish. It's delicious.
It shows what individual barrels bring to the blending process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what's always fun about that, because you'll have some that are just pepper bombs, some that are just mint bombs, and some that are wood bombs, and you get to see how it is the art of blending those together to have that consistent taste out of the bottle every single time.
Big time, yeah.
And Whistle Pig, especially the 10, that's a quintessential rye. It's one of the rye whiskeys, frankly, that put rye right back on the map.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Oh, all right. So on my end, took a little sip of tea there because I want to keep an eye on the old throat. I went with something off of the last year's Whiskey Advocate Top 20, considering that the next list is already in full swing and we're beginning to procure bottles for that list. I got the Ardbeg Spectacular, and this was number 11 on last year's list. And the reason why I remember that very specifically is because number 12 was the Angel's Envy Cask Strength Port Finish. And this stood out so much to me because the Angel's Envy with the port, for me, I felt the port overtook the whiskey. And then in this case, you got a big, smoky Islay whiskey. And for some reason, most Islay whiskeys don't fuck around with port finish. And this just has that big, happy, dark chocolate finish. And it fucking works, man. It is so good.
Yeah, I think they get nervous about it because sometimes those desserty flavors from port don't mix well with smoke. I mean, you're talking about, not in an astringent way, but we say it all the time, iodine and Band-Aids.
Yeah, of course.
With a little bit of citrus.
Yeah.
Does that make you think pair me with chocolate and almonds?
Yeah.
No, it fucking doesn't.
Yeah. I would say with this one, for me, it is.
But sometimes it works.
For me, this is less iodine-y and Band-Aid-y and more smoky. And it feels like chocolate that you do for a s'more over a campfire, because that campfire adds a smoke to a s'more that a normal flame doesn't. Right? So that little bit of kind of smokiness to go along with the chocolate. And it is, for me, quite lovely. And there's been a nip in the air lately. It's winter's really starting to take hold, and having something with a little oomph on the backbone, nothing wrong with that, you know?
Bro, well, I got up this morning to smoke a cigarette, and not to smoke. I just woke up and then needed to smoke a cigarette.
Right.
And I walked outside, and I had to smoke that cigarette with both testicles firmly implanted right about here. It was that cold.
I know about that all too well. I take Big B wants to still go on his walks every morning, and it is rather brisk when we do our walks.
Yeah.
So
you're saying hello to that. Because your testicles are in your fucking
up there.
throat.
All right, Mr. Graham, what else do we always need to do?
Always remember to drink responsibly, unless you can stumble to the couch about 15 feet away.
And hence why you are bottle killing 115 proof fucking rye whiskey. So cheers, sir.
Cheers.
All right. Let's get into it. Sometimes it's so simple to pick an opening segment. It's not about rivalry or storyline. It's about the goals. And we got some in this week, Graham. Why is that?
The goals are the best bet.
Yes, they are. Manchester City 5, Fulham 4, Aston Villa 4, Brighton 3. Haaland has a historic first goal. making it the fastest player to ever get to 100 goals in the modern Premier League era.
Overtaking Alan Shearer.
Yep. And, but not to be outdone, he hit a post early on, so he should have been in the net even sooner.
He hit a post early on, and then hit a post later on with a towering header as well. He could have had at least a haul of goals, but definitely should have had a hat trick.
Yeah, no doubt about
it. I could think of another chance he skied that was crossed to him. I mean, and a chance that he normally would finish.
Yeah,
so, he had a phenomenal game in terms of, chances created, necessarily, but in terms of finishing, by his standards, was garbage. He was 1 for 5.
But you also had Phil Foden finding form again, scoring a couple of goals. And
brace at the weekend, brace here.
Yeah. And they're up 3-0. They're going into the end of the first half. Everything's going to be, oh, no, wait, Fulham score.
Excuse me, Emil Smith Rowe and the Arsenal Academy scored. Thank you very much. And the Arsenal Academy scored again later on with Alex Iwobi.
Yep, which was going to bring me to my next point is, okay, you come out at half, you make your adjustments, you score 2 goals, you go up 5-1, should be smooth sailing. No, wait a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it was about Fulham, but they woke up. They haven't been able to score goals pretty much all season.
Yeah.
Right. And then today decided. Now, the other piece of that is up until this game, they had only allowed 3 goals scored on them at Craven Cottage all season.
Right.
Bang. 3 in the first half. Doubled your. It's like, what do we do here? What's going on? And then everyone wants to join the party.
And here was something I found really interesting with that also was you had all the goals in this match, even the Doku, which ultimately ended up being an own goal. All 9 goals were fucking pretty. Like they were 9
goals.
Gorgeous goals where you're like, ooh, huh. Like,
I mean, Emil Smith Rowe's header was, I don't know how he contorted his neck like that. To get the ball to loop over Donnarumma to the far post. That was absolutely phenomenal. Alex Iwobi's goal from distance was great. The goal Haaland actually scored, but he was under tons of pressure.
Both of Foden's goals were gorgeous.
Both of his goals were great, absolutely right. And then
Readers was a beautiful run with a great pass from
Johnny Reinders from Erling Haaland. Yeah. The one goal that stood out to me though was the Sanderberger own goal.
Yeah, that was the one Dooku hit. Yeah.
The reason it stood out to me was not because the goal was particularly great or anything like that. It was because Sanderberger found out that he was credited with an own goal by the Jumbotron at either end of the ground.
Right.
Apparently, the dubious goals panel, was at Craven Cottage and decided the goal while the game was happening.
No shit, that's too funny.
What a confidence boost to be just trucking down the field, chasing a defender down to look up and go, "Own goal, me? What the fuck?"
And then
just leave him alone. Tell him after the game.
And then the final 2 goals for Chukwuemeka from with Fulham. 2 fucking
Chukwuemeka
fucking rips. He fucking ripped them both.
It was absolutely phenomenal. Both of those goals were phenomenal. It was almost identical in terms of they were left-footed volleys from the edge of the box, but they were from opposite sides. One was just a clean, gorgeous hit. The other one came through a couple of bodies, maybe took a little bit of a deflection. But for the most part, they were carbon copies of each other just from either side of the box. It was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. And he's one that's come close. We saw it the weekend. He hit the post twice. Whoever Fulham played at the weekend, I don't remember at this point. There's been so much football, Sam. I can't keep it all straight. But yeah, no, he came very close at the weekend, and then decided today to actually finish those chances.
So for Fulham, although they lost, it feels like they're getting the goals again. So it feels like they're righting the ship, essentially. But
Absolutely.
if there's a problem that was a glaring out there on the field is City's defense is fucking leaking. Because that was 2 against Leeds with a 2-0 lead, and then 4 against Fulham with multiple 2-goal and even a 3-goal lead, and they were just shipping goals. And after that 4th one, you look at the body language of City on the pitch, just looking at each other going, what the fuck are we doing? Like, they look like they thought we're going to give up a 5th.
And they almost did. Don't forget, right at the death,
Oh, yeah,
Josh
cleared up the
King
line.
had a chance
Yep.
to tie it up. Now, it was a tight angle. It was a kind of a weird, angle the ball came in at with respect to his run. So he couldn't get as much on the shot as he probably wanted to, obviously. But Guardiola ended up bringing the ball off the line, nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
So he did beat Donnarumma. I mean, that ball was goal bound. So in the universe, could have been 5-5. Also heard a crazy stat. There's only ever been 1 5-5
No shit.
in the Premier League era.
What was that? Who was that?
I don't remember.
Ah, very good. Well, you know what?
But it's only ever happened once. And we were inches away from it happening again.
So what was interesting, though, for that
I couldn't be
is
asked to do that much admin, man. Come on.
nine goals scored in one game, and they weren't all scored on Southampton. Twice.
The other thing,
Uh-huh.
I know that we're not going to talk about them now, but Bournemouth Everton finished 1-0. Newcastle Tottenham for a majority of the game was 0-0. That took a long time to get going, that game. I thought essentially it was just a black hole of goals at Craven Cottage.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sitting there watching the action on my phone while I'm working as I'm driving down the road, and it keeps flashing the score up in the top right corner. I was like, what are these other teams doing? It's fucking 4-3.
And then, funny enough, the next day, all the goals happened in one game. And if all the goals were really, really pretty for Fulham and City, most of the goals in Brighton and Villa were fucking ugly. They were some bad goals. There were a couple of good ones, but like that first one
Van Heck is second.
was a good hit.
Great. Ollie Watkins second was brilliant.
But Ollie Watkins' first one, Mel, I think you said it best. You were like, I don't care how he fucking scores. He scored. He fucking scored. I don't give a shit how it went in the net. He
wasn't
fucking
pretty.
scored.
It just that it went in.
But Marco Bazat gets the start because Emmy comes up with
Hey.
Marco Bizot.
Yes, thank you. But he gets a start, and let's face it, that first Van Heckel goal, he got completely wrong. Looking like Jordan Pickford with short arms. The ball's going over his head, and he's like fucking doggy paddling at it in the air as it went over. Just bad all around. And then Brighton find themselves up 2-0, and it's like, okay, cruising control, right? No, they then proceed to give up 4. Unanswered to Villa. Villa completely took, like you had said, the minute Watkins was going to get a goal, the gates were going to open, and the gates just opened.
Oh, he was looking for a third.
Oh, big time. Yeah, James as well.
Which, I mean, for you guys, Mel, you just...
With a striker like him... Oh, I'm sorry. There was a delay. With a striker like him, you always knew he has the quality. I mean, he showed it. Right, it was a confidence problem. That was all.
Yeah. Now, once he found form, it seemed like he didn't want to give up, and I was really surprised he didn't get a third one in there.
Yeah, and this one was just weird in the regards of all Brighton early, then basically the next 70 minutes of the match was all Villa. And then the last 10 minutes of the match was all Brighton again.
They got us on our heels at one point, and I don't know how they unnerved us, but they did, and it almost tied it up.
And I
think that was mostly just the home crowd getting behind them, trying to spur them on, really. I mean, when you're the home team, you're always going to have a 10, 12-minute stretch of pressure, no matter how bad you are.
Although I will say the loudest name I heard that stadium shout was John McGinn.
Now, the other thing, Emery was loving it. You see him after one of the goal celebrations, he ripped his jacket off like he was the Hulk.
Did he? I didn't see that.
Well, couple that with also the one thing that Brighton, where they found their legs again, Brennan brought in old Unc Wells. That man is feisty for 35. He got on. I'm surprised he didn't see a yellow. He was pushing everybody, starting fights. He was just like, I'm here to fuck shit up. Like,
yeah, he did. Hey, we've got our game back. That was an old Gramson-esque.
Mm-hmm. So,
no, but in terms of Pizza, you said the first 10 minutes compared to the last 10 minutes. He made a world-class fucking save as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he stood up and counted himself.
Oh.
And it was amazing.
Speaking of world-class saves, I think it was Villa's fourth goal.
Mm-hmm.
I almost felt bad for the goalie because goalie had a just amazing save and then lost it on the rebound.
Yeah, the rebound got
Was it Matson? Someone was right there at the
Mm-hmm.
rebound, but like that first save was just phenomenal.
Oh, Malin was who scored it. Yeah, and it
was Mullins' goal. Yeah,
Mullins, sorry, and if Onana had touched it, he would have been offside. So he had he's pushed at it, but it was already over the line by the time he had touched it, so he wasn't offside.
He had a towering header.
Yeah,
as well.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking well done.
But also not very good. Like Brighton left that back post wide open. It was another just kind of like it was a good finish, but an ugly goal.
His defender off. His defender was fucking in no man's land.
Yeah.
Can I say real quick?
Please.
For the last 4 years that Brighton's been at Brighton or so, roughly 3-4 years maybe. I thought his name was Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Verbruggen. And they were just saying it quickly. It's not. His name is Bart.
Is what?
B-A-R-T.
Bart. Ah, very
Bart
good.
Verbruggen.
Very good.
And I lost a ton of respect for him. Just have to say that.
Oh, Bart's better.
I don't like Bart.
Do the Bart man.
No.
I liked Walt better than Wall.
Walt Chesney?
Old Walt.
I know. Yeah, I actually said this to Rob yesterday, talking about Bart's name being Bart.
Mm-hmm.
I said Sam started calling Chesney Walt because he couldn't say Wolshes.
Yeah, just Walt. Good old Walt. Who doesn't like a Walt? Final question, actually, Producer Mel, I still do want you for this one. Is Villa are firmly now in fourth place. And yes, they had the slow start. And I want to get both of your opinions on it, but they're doing both. They're in fourth place in the league. Now, the league is down a little bit, in my opinion, which is helping them. But they're second place in Europa. They're cruising right the fuck along. They're a point out of first in that league. Last year, they couldn't seem to manage both. There was always an issue. You know, if they did well in the Europa, in Champions League, they kind of fell off on the weekend at in the Prem. This year, they got it right. Mel, what is it that they're doing right this year that they didn't do last year? What's the difference?
The answer is right there in the question. It's the second year. They have more experience. They know what the expectations are. I think the conditioning, the training, all of that has now been tailored and geared towards the team that they have. And they just used the first year was like, all right, we're going to test the waters. And now we swim.
Graham, do you think it has anything to do with it being Europa and not Champions League because of Unai Emery and how he's kind of the master of Europa?
I think Mel brings up a great point. I think a lot of those players had not had to deal really with a dual campaign season. So I think now the experience is, even, John McGinn, we talked about him earlier, was takes more quote unquote breaks during matches, if that makes sense,
Right.
to kind of save himself. They also did add a piece or two in the summer. I know they didn't have the best transfer window, but they did add a piece or two. You got Tyrone Mings back from injury from the year before, where he was, kind of struggling for fitness most of last season because of having a year out with his ACL. Now he's back to full fucking fitness, really. You've got Pal Torres. You've got all these players that are now bedded in.
Yeah.
Also, yes, the Europa League is not as intense as the Champions League. That's true.
Yeah.
So they do have a little bit of an easier time on Thursday nights.
Yeah.
Than they do on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Fair. The other,
I mean, remember they had PSG and they put them to the fucking sword, really, at Villa Park, right, last season. But then either side's Premier League games were trashed.
Right. And then you're also fortunate in the regards of you get to use some of these loan players because they're not in Champions League, so they can use them. So where Jadon Sancho may not have been able to crack how to play in the Premier League yet, but he was a fucking star in Germany, so he knows how to play on the continent. And
knows how to play in Europe, yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So that you use him where he's strong for you, right? Use Grisson where he's strong for you as he's learning the Premier League, and you let your Premier League guys fucking go all balls to the wall in the Prem, you know.
Yep. But absolutely. I mean, look at where Tottenham is right now, right? I mean, they were fucking off the Premier League to perform in Europe, right, last season because they had so many injuries, and they ended up winning the fucking thing, right? At the end of the day, it was the 17th best team in England beating the 15th best team in England, right, in the final. And that's the quality of the Europa League overall, right? You had teams that were almost relegated won the fucking competition.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you're looking at the Champions League campaign this season, Tottenham's fucking around. In the Premier League, obviously, they're on a terrible run of form, but they're actually performing decently in the Champions League because they're focused on that. Newcastle was doing the same thing up until 2 weeks ago. Because they want the money. You have to progress. It's the same thing Villa did last season in the Champions League. Fuck the Premier League. We need to progress so we get the money.
One last thought. 16 goals in 2 games. Mr. Graham, that is 6 less than Wolves have given up this entire fucking season. The final spot for survival is up for grabs, and those in the scrap found a way to get points. Leeds 3, Chelsea 1, West Ham 1, Manchester United 1. Chelsea may have had the ball. Chelsea might have felt like they had control. They never had control of this match, ever.
So, my across the street neighbor is a Chelsea supporter, and I was outside smoking again in the morning yesterday, and he said he was like, "What do you think about this afternoon?" I said, "I think you're going to have a tough time, bud. I really do. Most of your team is young. Most of your team did not come up through your academy. Most of your team has not played for your team when leagues were last in the Premier League. I don't think they understand what they're about to walk into."
Ellen Road collectively hates you.
Oh, yeah.
Hate, like there is a visceral hate. You need to think of this.
It's a 150 mile or 200 mile away derby. But an actual derby. Not like Brighton Palace. It's an actual fucking derby.
And Farka's men played like it was. Everyone on that team knew the fucking assignment, and they came through magnificently. And like I said,
now
Chelsea had all the fucking possession. Meant fuck all. They were never in control of that match.
They didn't really do much in the first half. I mean, you had the great header by Bajol to get Leeds going early. Right. There was a few chances for either side, but until Tanaka's finish, quite brilliant finish, to be honest, near the end of the half, there was nothing really that caught the eye in the first half for me. Excuse me. It was like they were still feeling each other out despite being 2-0 down.
Yeah.
It was quite a strange performance from Chelsea, to be honest. Especially after all the, and now it could be, I guess, fatigue, and then changing certain positions and not having the connections on the field. But after the exploit at Stamford Bridge on Sunday against Arsenal, a lot of that team did retain their place. So maybe they were tired. I mean, could be.
Yeah.
It was an emotional, hard-fought fucking thing for them, right?
Right, of course.
But then you had Joey Gittins came in. You had, Reece James sat out this game. You had Caicedo suspended. That changes your shape. That changes your tactics. And Leeds exploited it. I mean, even Pep said about Leeds at the weekend that they didn't know how to deal with Leeds' second-half formation.
Yeah.
Which is why they cheated and had Donnarumma go to ground.
It's funny. It is very funny that we were looking at how Leeds were just kind of almost going through the motions, and we even made a crack at how Farka was like, "Hey, we have 11 points, and we get 11 points each third. We're going to have 33 points, and we'll be safe." And it was almost like, stop kind of being so blasé about it. And I would say in these last two matches, they haven't been blasé. They have been going right at their opponents, and frankly, Liverpool is not going to have it easy this weekend. They got to go to Ellen Road. They just got that win over Chelsea. You think that those fans have the hangover of it? No, they will be louder. They will be worse. They will be even more intense. And then you look at a team like Liverpool right now, who has just been frankly fragile mentally at best. How are they going to handle it in there? And it feels like it's not going to be easy for Leeds, but it feels like Leeds is figuring out what it is they have to fucking do to try to survive.
Well, this is going to sound patronizing, and I don't mean it to be. It's a very real thing in my mind. I think Leeds have played better than their position suggests this season, but they're looking at what Sunderland are doing, and they're going, why can't we do that? We are a one-club town, too. Right?
Two very completely differently built teams.
I know. I'm not talking about the football.
No, I'm with you. I'm
talking about the fan base.
Yeah.
And I think Leeds supporters are starting to go the way Sunderland has made it at the Stadium of Light. I think the Leeds supporters are starting to go, fuck this. We are going to be the 13th man.
Yeah.
We are going to make it loud and difficult, and you're not going to be able to talk to each other. You're not going to be able to do anything here, and we're going to do everything that we can with our 45 pounds a seat to make sure that the opposition cannot perform in this game.
That third goal may have been put in the net by Dominic Calvert-Lewin. That third goal was scored by the fans of Ellen Road.
Yeah.
That is how that goal happened. That was them going crazy and being so noisy that Chelsea's defense couldn't figure out what the fuck they were doing. That was Ellen Road put that ball in the net. We talk about that 3-2 game that Everton had to beat Palace to survive that year with Frank Lampard, where we felt like that Dominic Calvert-Lewin goal was literally breathed into the net by the Gladys Street end. That is what happened for that goal at Ellen Road. That was the Leeds supporters made that goal happen. Absolutely.
This also, from a Chelsea perspective, I wouldn't necessarily be too terribly concerned. Because, again, they started a young team, and when they do this, when they move these pieces around, and the way their transfer windows have gone the last few seasons, nobody really at the club understands this particular mode. But it's easy to get up for Manchester United.
Oh, of course.
It's easy to get up for Liverpool.
Arsenal.
It's easy in
yeah.
recent seasons to get up for Newcastle, for Arsenal, I'd say, for Spurs. It's easy to get up against the traditionally big teams. But some of these oddballs are kind of derbies. There's no real. I don't understand why we're here right now. I don't understand why it's this big, and it looked like that. The lack of intensity from the Chelsea team very much surprised me. There is one other stat that I want to bring to the table.
Gotcha. And then I got two things for you. Go ahead.
Maresca's Leicester, and now Maresca's Chelsea. He has lost 3 straight games against Daniel Farke's Leeds.
No shit. Okay, very good.
So also, Farke may just have his number. I mean, you add that into the mix as well, on top of all the things that we talked about. Maresca may just have end zone tactics figured out.
I don't mind going a little bit deeper into this one because let's face it, there's not a lot to really talk about in West Ham Manchester United other than West Ham got a point and came from behind to do it. There's really, in fact, we've covered the game. But for me, there's 2 things, and this goes to both teams. First, Maresca takes this loss and he's able to teach his team so much more from this. Be like, oh, well, now you need to understand. Great. You were up for Arsenal and you played really well. You walked into Ellen Road and you got your asses fucking kicked. Here's a friendly reminder of what you need to remember if you want to be a Champions League team, if you want to be competing for a title, because you know what Arsenal do? They're going to go into Ellen Road and win. So
right. You know what's going to be interesting to me over the next probably 2 seasons. Results like this, I want to see how this affects Chelsea's transfer dealings.
Right. What do they bring
because
in?
There's so many coming in. There's so many going out. There's loans here. There's loans there. There's loans coming in. There's permanents. There's all this sort of stuff. They're also, I mean, just as the club, I know there's, relatively new owners there, but they're known for changing their manager fairly frequently, just in their history. And I mean, these owners have been there, 2 years? They've had 4 managers. Right. I mean, they're continuing that trend, to be honest. But I want to see if they go, you know what, maybe we need a stalwart. I know they brought him in this season. It's brand new. But do they sign somebody like Jordan Henderson at some point and just go, we need an old head to calm these fuckers down?
Right. Someone
in the rest of the squad. You know what I'm saying? Like Brentford needed him to be a leader and all this kind of stuff. But
the
at
James
some point,
Milner of the world, the Grant
at some point, does Chelsea go, yeah, we've got every brilliant 21-year-old that we can find, but we need a 37-year-old fucking just Premier League operator.
Yeah. We need we need the Roy Kent to fucking fuck with all the parts.
Exactly, to kind of bring it together, to be the glue. And I'm anxious to see what their transfer windows look like in the next few years, specifically for that reason, because this was a very naive and young performance.
Yeah,
again,
agree.
And this happens time and time again with them.
Yeah, and the other thing that I wanted to bring up was for Leeds and for Farke, I think Leeds got the reminder of the type of team they built is a physical go at 'em team that's going to rough out games. You're not going to do it with finesse. You're going to do it with ruggedness. You're going to do it with sheer will. This finally looked like that team that we saw at the start of the year. Mm-hmm. It feels like Farke needs to not be content. He has to constantly kind of, like riding a horse on the final turn. You got to keep showing that whip. You don't have to whip, but you got to show the whip. You got to keep that horse running. I think that's what he needs to do here. Is he needs to just kind of remind these guys, like, hey,
we have topics.
You're assholes. Be assholes. Be fucking assholes. Our stadium is full of assholes. Be fucking assholes.
Be Leeds.
Yeah, be fucking Leeds. Be the team that everybody else in professional football hates, and they hate them for a reason, because they're assholes. But you know what? Being an asshole will get them survival.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it'll do. And that's all that matters. You can You could have style points next year. You can improve your team next year. What matters this year is fucking staying up. That's it. Period. End of discussion. 17th place, don't go down. That's all.
Yep.
That's the fucking goal.
Right, and they're basically going to have to battle it out with West Ham United,
right?
In my opinion.
Which, getting to that, real quickly, just to get Manchester United out of the way, Manchester United always seems to figure out a way to disappoint, don't they?
Yeah,
it's just what they seem to
yes,
do.
This iteration of them, absolutely.
That man is never going to get his haircut.
Seasons have been fucking shit.
That man is never, ever, ever, ever going to get his haircut.
No.
It's never going to fucking happen.
He's in trouble, that guy. He really is in trouble.
We often refer to United as like the Yankees or the Cowboys. And when the Yankees started becoming good again recently was because there was that period where they were good and then they got real bad and everything had to change. They like Manchester United just refuses to change. They're just like, we're still the 19 champions of England. We are still Sir Alex's fucking, like they have to find the new identity.
They can't get out of the shadow of the specter at the feast, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he still goes to games and everything, which is wild, right? I mean, and good on him. I mean, I don't begrudge him.
He loves the club. He loves the fucking club.
Yeah, I mean, that's a majority of his life, really. He should do that.
Right.
But the it doesn't help the manager currently when everybody goes, that, senile 90-year-old man up there could be doing better than you.
Yeah. And it just... Really,
he had an aneurysm 3 years ago, for fuck's sake, and he could be doing better than you right now. That doesn't help the situation.
There's really not a ton of talk about within this match. It just
the match was shit. It was absolute garbage.
West Ham figured out a way to get the draw, right? Which is good for them. But the other thing, though, is West Ham right now, you got Paqueta out on the red. James Ward-Prowse apparently is completely out of favor with Nuno again and not in the fucking lineup. Fulkerg was hurt. So, like, when you were thinking about like what are they going to do to change the match on the field as they were down 1-0, you were like, they have nothing.
Yeah, nothing. I mean that is going to be a problem for West Ham, but those owners dug themselves that hole. Yeah. What I will say about Nuno, and here's the improvement, right? This is where the manager matters, right? And how Nuno's doing a good job. We all know that West Ham have a subpar squad, right?
Right.
That we know that. That's a fact. I'm going to just run through a couple of stats. Total possession, 65% to 35% in favor of Manchester United. Okay. Total shots, 17 to 11, Man U to West Ham. Fairly similar fucking numbers, yeah?
Right.
Shots on target, 4 to 3. Let's get a little tighter, isn't it?
Yeah, much tighter.
Big chances, 3 to 1. Big chances missed, 2 to 0.
West Ham made their big chance.
They took their big chance. Passing, that doesn't really matter. Fouls committed, 13 to 9. Manchester United committed more fouls than West Ham did. They were offsides more than West Ham were. Corners were tied. So they have this possession, they have this team, they have this excitement. Yeah, West Ham don't have much. And despite only having a third of the ball, put up very similar numbers offensively to Manchester United.
True. Very
and
true.
It just shouldn't be that way. And if you're really going to take the step and be a top 4 club again and do all this kind of stuff and right the wrongs of the past and, exercise the sins of Amorim from last season, well, you're not fucking doing it. You're doing the same shit.
So as we approach the almost halfway mark, by the end of December, we will be at the halfway mark. It's looking like West Ham and Leeds are kind of in the dogfight. Who do you got, Sam?
That's hard. I fancy Nuno, but I think I'm being tainted. I like Leeds' squad a bit better, and I like their fight a bit better. but I'm kind of tainted by Farka's Norwich from a few seasons ago, if you remember how piss poor they absolutely were. And I don't know that he's learned or up for it. I know for a fact Nuno is. So I tend to favor West Ham here.
Rounding out the rest of the league, and so that 1-1 and 1-0 happened. Everton 1, Bournemouth 0, Newcastle 2, Tottenham 2, Liverpool 1, Sunderland 1, Arsenal 2, Brentford 0, Palace 1, Burnley 0, Forest 1, Wolves 0. See, I shouldn't try to ad lib. I fuck it up. I should just read what's on the fucking paper, fat man. Everton finally win at the Vitality. The one thing that's there's not a lot to say about this match other than this is a prime example of December footy. Bournemouth had 3 guys on suspension for accumulated yellows. You had Ghana out for his red. It was just like little injuries, little knocks. So these were like, if this was Bournemouth's starting lineup against Everton's starting lineup, probably a very different match.
Big time. But it wasn't.
Played right into Everton's hand. Like Everton went, okay, this is how we're going to play the match. And Cherries were like, yeah, okay, it sounds good.
They should have started Evan Nilsson. I'll tell you that. And they didn't. I'll just read you my notes because it's that easy. I'll read you verbatim what I wrote down. First chance came on 22 minutes. Pickford made a save. The bar got skimmed. Goal. Never mind. It wasn't. The football started to come around the hour mark. Jack Grealish scored a deflective goal after a mediocre counter. Fuck me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody did anything. Nobody did anything. There was no boxing match. There was no, we're fighting it out for 9th and 10th. There was none of that shit. It was just like it was the high stepping horses do down the home stretch so they don't get shot in the head.
It is 2 teams passing each other in the table. Mm-hmm. One's on the rise, one's on the decline.
Gentlemen's agreement. Let's not get sucked into that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it was.
And
let's not get sucked into where Leeds are because we're still only 4 points above them or whatever it is, 5 points above them. Let's not get sucked into that shit. Let's both get a point on the board and we can keep it fucking moving.
And the Cherries just never scored their goal. That was really about it. Most interesting thing about the match, honestly, Jack Grealish, after his goal in front of the Everton supporters, kissed the badge.
Yeah.
He's a fucking loan. He's a loan player, and he kissed the fucking badge.
He's also an idiot.
Yeah, true. He
eats more crayons than Ross Barkley does.
I mean, that is classic fuckboy right there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, big time. I mean, it was him and Kyle Walker that had photos of them with random women leaked during COVID.
Yep, exactly.
When they weren't supposed to be meeting with women.
Right.
Remember. So I'm not going to read too much into that yet.
Right.
But at his age and with only a year left on a City contract, yes, he could potentially leave on a fairly decent offer. His wages are going to be a stumbling block.
Yeah.
And I do think that he loves playing there. He's appreciated, which he was not done at City.
Yeah. Well, let's just all remember.
And that's fair dues.
Everyone's favorite fuckboy, Jack Grealish. I wish we could name a show everyone's favorite fuckboy, but we can't. Newcastle Tottenham, like you said, very dull. It was all Newcastle. Like for the first 70 minutes, all fucking Newcastle, but they couldn't put the ball in the net. And then they finally do. And I guess it was the midweek for fucking center back captain scoring fucking braces.
I felt,
Romero.
I felt so bad for fucking Aaron Ramsdale for that second goal for the overhead kick.
Yeah,
it wasn't even an overhead kick. He shinned it first of all, but there were 3 Newcastle players that watched that mediocrely struck ball Caroon to the far post before Aaron Ramsdale even saw the fucking thing.
Ramsdale doesn't see that thing until it gets past the last defender.
Anthony Alenga, Dan Byrne, I think it was, and there was one other, probably Chaw, who should have just said his own name and lashed at it and didn't, like a fucking Pokemon, but didn't do that. And that ball finds the back of the net. It was absolutely atrocious, to be honest, in terms of team defending. And Ramsdale was made to pay the price.
One other question about that match. Was that a penalty for you?
By what they told us, they told the teams preseason.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Does it get called every week, every time? No. So why are they calling it here? Not sure.
Right. It's
I guess Bentancur. What I've heard some various analysis of this, and I'm fairly sympathetic to the fact that Bentancur never once looked for the ball.
No.
That's absolutely fair.
No.
He just simply bear hugged Dan Byrne. At that point, Dan Byrne then headlocks Bentancur.
Yeah.
So is it one of those where it's kind of a mutual tussle, a mutual combat, no foul either way? Probably. That's where I feel sympathetic. But in terms of the fact, like, we see all the time where, like, players are tussling like this and looking at the ball, right? And they're genuinely trying to go for the ball, just jostling for position. That would be harsh for me if that was the case.
Right.
Bentancur was like this, and the ball was coming from here, and it just straight into Dan Byrne. I think that's outside the spirit of the game, I guess. So fine, fair dues. I mean, yes, is it a foul? Yes. So, okay. I mean, but it really, does it ever get called? No. So
I have
is this a bit harsh? Probably.
I have the mixed feelings that you have, but for me, ultimately, the mixed feeling is, it's great that you called that. Now call that all the time, and you won't because you don't. Right, as you've heard me say throughout this entire season, the Tarkovsky handball, I mean,
that's human. That's human nature, man. It's human beings. They interpret things different ways. I get that part.
But if that's what you're going, but if that's something you're working on, which is the physicality inside the box, then start fucking calling it, right? If you call it all the time, guess what they will stop doing? And in this instance, for me, the reason why it's ultimately a foul is very similar to a cornerback covering a wide receiver. Whenever you see pass interference called, it's because the receiver, the cornerback didn't even turn around and look to see if the ball was coming. They were just going at the guy, and you can't do that. In the case here, Byrne definitely got his hand around him, but that was one of those, I'm going to foul you and make it look like you're fouling me because you're bigger than me. So, like, just call it all the fucking time and get it out of football if you want to, if you really want it to be stopped, as opposed to making a call that can directly impact a game that the next week, when it's two other completely different opponents, isn't going to get called. Right. So just, that was just the hang up for me on it. Was, I don't have an issue with it being called. I feel it was definitely a foul. I feel he had zero concern of where the ball was, what the ball was doing. He was only concerned on slowing down Dan Byrne. In that regard,
because he's fucking a foot shorter than him.
But that happens every fucking match. Call it every fucking time, or at least call it once or twice a match. And I guarantee you'll start seeing players stop fucking doing it.
Yeah. Because the risk is there. Absolutely right.
Right. Put that in their brain that they may give up a penalty for it, and they'll suddenly stop fucking doing it.
Right.
And it's the inconsistency of the refs that I have more issue with than the actual players doing it, because players are going to try to find an advantage however they can on the field. In an NFL game, there is a holding on every fucking play.
No, absolutely. I mean, that part's right. I mean, but, in our football and in football, there's more of a gray area than there are in the rules than there is in any other sport, really, right? There's more of a gray area in soccer than there is in anything else.
Much more interpretation, of course.
And we are dealing with human beings. So I do understand that, right? I mean, there's a big push in England right now to get rid of VAR altogether. We'll take the fuck ups, is kind of what they're saying.
Right.
But because sitting here for 7 minutes while you try to figure out and still fucking it up is worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, so fucking just give us our game back. We want our game back.
So the Reds couldn't crack the Cats at Anfield, who frankly should have fucking smashed and grabbed the Reds.
Yeah, this was akin to that Josh King Fulham chance right at the end there.
Yeah, the fucking attacking midfielder is the one who gets all the way down the pitch to clear it off the fucking goal line.
He's a forward, Federico Chiesa rather. But Chiesa, for some reason, was put on the halfway line for the corner that was taken.
Yeah.
And he did his job. I mean, he ran back and he stopped the ball. I do think, however, I forget who it was that did it, but the Sunderland forward that shot the ball, that rounded Allison, probably could have hit the ball a little bit firmer.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But I think he saw his name in lights, and I'm at Anfield. I can win the game. All these things went through his head as he approached the net. But no, yeah, I mean, Sunderland took the lead in the game, right? I mean, they're just doing it. They're taking their chance, man. It was me at the first bar I ever went to shooting my shot with a woman.
Yeah.
Sunderland are taking the Premier League the same way it took Pussy back for the first time, you know?
And with all of that in mind, Liverpool still didn't have a fucking answer. That was a good joke. I'm just trying to keep it rolling. I acknowledge the
I was 1 for 1 for a brief time.
But in that regards, the Reds didn't have a fucking answer. Again.
No, but the other thing, even Florian Wirtz had a goal contribution, except for that ball would have went out for a throw-in if it didn't hit the Sunderland defender.
Exactly.
So he didn't even get credit for it.
It's not going well at Liverpool. I still feel like this team is going to be 4th or 5th place, right? We're seeing what happened to City last year happening right now to Liverpool, but it ain't fucking good, man.
Bro, it's not our place to talk about it, really. It's not our place to say. It's not our place to speculate, because these people lost their friend. Right?
Of course.
Grief affects people in very different ways. I've been on a team where I have lost a teammate to death. That happened to me. I was not the same player for quite a while.
Right.
While still wearing that shirt. And my center back partner was the one that died. Yeah. And this was at PG Community College. His name was Frank. He was a Jamaican national that came here for school. And we played together. And he got in a car accident on the way to school one day to turn a paper in. And he passed away. Mm-hmm. And at 19 years old, I did his eulogy. And we also had a bake sale and 2 other things, fundraisers, to repatriate his body back to Jamaica, so his parents could bury him properly. And it fucks with you. It's not the best feeling in the world, obviously,
of course,
to lose somebody you care about, to lose a teammate, somebody you train with, you bleed with, you fight with, you do all these things. Like, people make fun of the kind of war rhetoric that sports uses, but that's how you feel while you're in it. you're working hard, you're bleeding, you're sweating, you're crying,
Right.
you're doing those things, right? So when people, oh, we're going to battle today, like people make fun of that. That's how you feel
Right.
when you're on that team, right? And to have your brother in arms taken from you is a big fucking deal. And watching Liverpool, like each player individually sometimes does good shit. I don't really think they're quote unquote out of form. I think they're mentally struggling.
Yeah. They're
I
just
think this
disheveled.
is a mental block. I think they're disheveled. How do you expect to lose a 28-year-old teammate?
Yeah. True. Very, very true.
And the only reason I'm like really speaking about it is because I've done it. I've had that, right? It's not our plate. The grief happens to everybody differently. This looks like a mental struggle with them.
Mhm.
Mo Salah especially. Again, I said this how many weeks this year? You don't just forget how to play football.
Right.
You don't just forget how to finish.
And well, I mean, finally, with that in mind, all of that is quite understandable. But at the end of the day, your Liverpool Football Club, nobody's got time. Like your supporters don't have time for that. The rest of the league doesn't have time for that. Like you got to find a way to make it be different. Like and they need to right the ship.
They're not gonna get relegated.
Right. But the cracks are showing.
They do have time for it technically.
This team's going to finish in the Champions League spot. They will. It's what they're going to do. But right now, it's real fuck bad, man. They look a mess, and it needs to get figured out for sure. These last three, let's get through pretty quickly because, frankly, there's not a lot to say. You had a professional fucking win. You had the tough game against Chelsea, and let's face it, this match, as long as you get out of it and you win, which is what you do, you're far more concerned about this weekend playing at Villa than like that game's way more important than this one. And you did what you needed to do. You fucking won.
Yeah. I had no real question about this game. I knew we were going to win. I knew we were going to score a couple of goals. I think I had as part of my bet, I think I had Arsenal over 1.5.
Yeah.
In the game, and we accomplished that by ourselves.
Right.
What I did like was the fact that we did concede some possession for a bit. Rest. Just stay compact. Kind of calm down. It's okay.
You don't have to run yourself into the ground.
Balls to the wall all the time.
Take a break.
What I didn't like was another center back going off injured. I didn't like Declan Rice asking to be substituted, although he looks okay, thank God, in today's reports. But there was a lot to like about the game. It was professional. It was easy, fairly easy, to be honest. It was, but the early days, I think they were up 5-1 on the corner count when we were 1-0 up. And that's a little concerning. Like, why are we giving so many corners away? Like, what are you doing? But other than that, it was a fairly straightforward, fairly simple thing.
Yeah.
We also had the mental thing of this is essentially where we lost the league last year.
Right.
Brentford drew this game. Liverpool won this that weekend in February or whatever it was, which opened up a 6-point gap or 7-point gap. And essentially, we were dead in the title race.
Right. It was done.
We righted that wrong. The question is, at what cost? And we won't properly know that until the lineups get announced this weekend.
Moving on. Palace got it done at Turf Moor. And Turf Moor is not an easy place to do. And
a horrible game.
And the one thing I would say is Palace got their win, which is what Palace needed to do for Burnley. If you are going to stay in the league, you got to get a point in this match. You got to get a 1-0 win in this match. This is the game you got to win. Like when you're looking at your schedule and going, where are we going to get points? And Palace is far and away a better club. They're a better team. Absolutely. But in your building, in the midweek, as they're playing a whole bunch of games at once, and they played one more because they played Europe in front of you, and they're playing Europe behind you. Like, they've got a lot going on. And this is where, if you're Burnley and you want to survive, you got to get the fucking win or at least a fucking point.
Yeah, they needed to attack Palace more, and they just didn't.
Yeah.
They just didn't come out themselves. But Palace kind of rode the few chances that Burnley had and then just took over. Really?
Yeah.
Now, they didn't create much. It was a fairly boring game. And I am happy for Munoz, who's the most underrated player in the entire Premier League, period.
Agreed. Very much
Not
agreed.
enough people talk about him, and he does literally the most work of anyone in the Premier League.
Yeah.
This dude gets about, and a great header for him.
Yeah.
Really. But the game was fairly boring. I mean, Palace didn't need to press necessarily because they know they're better. And Burnley didn't try to take the game by the scruff of the neck, and they should have. And it just ended up petering to this 1-0 Palace win. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. And Burnley's got to do that. I mean, I was actually talking to Julie about this last night. Like, I'm not a good jump scare guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you jumped out of a closet with a knife, I'm going to shit myself. You'll probably be able to stab me. But if we're in an argument and it's building up to where I think you're going to pull a knife out, I'm going to headbutt you in the teeth. I'm going to fight for my area. You knew what Palace was going to do, and you didn't fight for yourself. They didn't jump scare you. You just didn't show up. And that pussy shit belongs in the championship.
Yeah, no shit. Well, I mean, we all know about you and jump scares from Whoa the fuck.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not good at that.
Yeah. But we were frantically just trying to find that sound drop because you had asked us to get rid of it. I think it might be buried deep in the bowels of my
I've
iPad.
never asked you to get rid of it. Don't fucking do that.
Well, you didn't tell us to get rid of it. You said, can you lay off it? That's what you had said. You had said, can you lay off it?
I said, I think the bit might have run its course, is what I said.
Whoa, the fuck will never run its course. It will never run it. Much like the vein in my head will never run its course.
Hey, you know what did run its course?
What?
The echo in my ears.
Hey, how about that?
Don't know why, but I can't hear myself no more.
Very good. Sean Dyche special for Forest and fucking Wolves, right? Like, this is why you as Forest hired Sean Dyche. He is going to keep you up because he's going to win very, very fucking ugly games, 1-0 against the last place team.
The first half, I could have clawed my fucking eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be asked for that. Lack of focus, lack of everything from everyone involved. It was horrific, the first half of football this game. Not sure why there was an 8-minute VAR check for a blatant offside, but that happened again. It was just a horrible game, man. I just there's no reason to watch anything that has to do with this.
I asked the same question again, and it doesn't need a response. Can Wolves actually score a goal? Your money. This will be the first question I ask Danny next week when he's on the show with me. Dear God, I'm telling everybody, we're opening with Manchester United and Wolves, which is the Monday night game, because I have a Wolves supporter. Other than just grilling him about how shit his fucking club is without making him get up and walk out of the fucking room, I don't know what else to really talk about, but
right.
You got a Wolves supporter in the room. You got to fucking talk. You
might as well
have to talk Wolves. You have to. And that game is going to be bloody fucking garbage as well. We know it. So how'd you do, Mr. Graham?
I lost again. I lost again. So this is week 14, so I'm down 1,300.
Nice. Well done.
Yeah, and I barely lost, but I did lose. And that was thanks to Newcastle.
Yeah.
I had Newcastle winning, obviously, over Spurs because of shit. And they allowed Christian Romero to shin in an overhead shin into the far corner
That
and
bounced.
not win their game.
Right. That's all they had to do in their building.
That was it.
See it out.
Just save that. The
And
rest of it I hit.
You would hit your
Everything
bet?
else I hit.
Wow. Holy shit. That's insane, Mr. Graham. Well, I missed
Totes a noise. Totes a noise.
Theono Berry had 4 attempts at target. He didn't put a single one in. He did have a one-on-one that he should have hit, but so I missed, and I am now down $837.
You're getting close, bud.
Of the week. 8.3% of the time. It works 100% of the time. Since it's so close to the weekend, I get to do the fun shit that you always do. So I'm going to do a 3-leg parlay over 2
Oh, that's
matches.
not even close to fun. Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, listen to what I'm picking and the odds, because I did a little caveat to it that will do it. It's all about shots on goal.
All right.
I with 1 or more shots on goal this weekend.
Okay.
Harvey Barnes with 1 or more shots on goal this weekend. And Dan Byrne with 1 or more.
All in the same
headers.
game as well.
No. Njai is Everton.
Yeah,
and Forest.
Njai. Yeah. I'm sorry.
But
I
Dan
just heard Harvey
Byrne,
Barnes and Dan Byrne.
Dan Burns has to be a header on goal. So corner kick or free kick, header on goal from Dan Burns.
Interesting. I like it.
If that hits, see, I knew you'd like me doing this wackadoodle shit. If
Who's
it hits,
Newcastle playing?
fuck if I can
Burnley.
Yeah.
You'll be all right.
Yeah. Plus 1271, Mr. Graham.
I
and
bet
will
it
be
is.
in the black. Yeah, you like that. And suddenly now you don't hate that bet so much, do you?
No, I fucking put 200 on if I were you.
No fucking winners, no fucking over-unders. It is literally 3 guys getting a shot on goal, and one of them has to be a header.
I like it. I like it.
I am
All
being
right, well,
wacky.
I did not do that. I did some more interesting things.
9
Maybe not as
parlay.
maybe it's 7 actually, but not as interesting. It's a fairly basic, but it's pretty. It is pretty straightforward, to be honest.
Mhm.
Arsenal or draw with Villa and under 3.5.
Ooh, agree with all of that. A 1-1 draw seems very likely.
Man City Sunderland over 1.5.
Yeah.
Not picking a winner, not picking a draw, not picking nothing. There are going to be more than 2 goals.
2 goals feels right.
Period. Newcastle versus Burnley. Newcastle win.
Mm-hmm. That's a fair one.
Bournemouth versus Chelsea. I think Chelsea realize the error of their ways and start their more regular starters. Chelsea win.
And also, Bournemouth are on a bad, 4 or 5
patch.
losses and 1 draw in their last 5. Yeah, they are
terrible run of
bad
form.
run.
Brighton versus West Ham. Brighton win. And then Leeds versus Liverpool. Again, Liverpool, bad run of form. Who knows?
Right.
Not picking anybody. Over 1.5 goals.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So what does that get you?
Plus 795.
All right, good. Admit it.
Which for a 7-leg parlay, bro, is pretty safe odds.
Not good gambling.
That's like betting plus 100 just on your favorite guy to touch his nuts during a game.
Yeah. Well, admit it. You think me picking Dan Byrne to get a header on target is fucking sexy. You like that in the bet, don't you?
It's a sexy bet, but it's the one that's gonna fuck you.
Oh, it's absolutely going to be the one that's going to fuck me, but it's also the one that made the odds 1271. So that was why I'm doing it.
I know, but that's why I do it, and that's why I'm going to get foreclosed on next year. Because I do that shit too.
Yeah, all the time.
And the more we talk about it, the frizzier my hair gets, which makes me look crazier.
I'm surprised
and more homeless by the day.
I figured you'd pull all the hair out by now.
Yeah.
Now I was
One day I will.
That's for about 12 to 14 years from now, when your 3 youngest are all teenage girls. That's when you're going to be ripping the old hair out. All right, that is going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Mr. Graham, do you have any parting words?
Not really.
Very good. Well,
I don't. I think everything is all right.
We had a lot to
I
fucking
haven't
talk
really
about.
had any problems.
And next up, we're going to do injury time. There's no EFL show. We already did one this week. We'll do one next week. And what we're going to do next is preview the weekend's action, talk about fantasy, talk about the beers we were drinking, which are you even drinking a beer, Graham? Don't say it. Just talk about it on the show. Very good. And then we're going to preview everything that's going on. So, Mr. Graham, should somebody want to support the show, how do they go about doing it?
Very simple, actually. It is patreon.com/D Football Show. Just sign up to that one $5 tier. You get all the things that Sam's talking about, and sometimes a bit more, to be honest, because we do a lot of cool shit because we're great people.
That won't be this show. We're going to.
Not this one, no. We're getting the fuck out of here as fast as we can.
We're going to try to get to bed right after midnight. All right.
This is the one where you're going to ask for a discount.
Yeah, exactly. Give Tegan my best, my friend, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. Till next week for me, everybody.
Good night.